Okay. Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss nuclear forces. So what are nuclear forces? So nuclear forces are the forces, are attractive forces that will bind the nucleons together inside the nucleus. Okay. So nuclear forces are the attractive forces which bind the nucleons together, are held together inside a nucleus. Okay. So basically these are attractive forces. First one is they are attractive forces and strong forces. Strongest forces. Okay, they are attractive forces and strongest forces in the universe. Okay, that means these forces has a magnitude of large magnitude compared to gravitational force and electromagnetic forces. Okay, these are the strongest forces in the universe, and first one is strongest forces and second one is short range forces. That means these forces are more effective when the distance is about 10 to the power minus 15 meter or 1 Fermi meter, we can say. That means these forces are very effective when the distance is less than 10 to the power minus 15 centimeter or 1 Fermi meter. Okay, these are short range forces. That means they are effective only when the distance between the nucleons is 10 to the power minus 15 meter or 1 Fermi meter. Okay, that means these are effective. Suppose if the distance between the particle increases from these forces, then their magnitude decreases. That means these are more effective when the distance is about 10 to the power minus 15 meter. When the distance is more than this particular distance, the magnitude gradually decreases. Okay. Third one is attractive forces. As we know, inside the nucleus there are protons and neutrons. Inside the nucleus we have protons and neutrons. So if protons has positive charge and neutrons are electrically neutral. Okay, when two protons actually has positive charge and a proton and proton has positive charge. When two positive charges will repel each other, but inside this nucleus they are held together. Actually, between two protons there is a Coulomb force of repulsion, but inside this nuclei they are held together inside the nucleus. That means these nuclear forces are strong forces, attractive force which overcome this Coulombian repulsion between these two protons. So these forces are only attractive forces. That means there is an attraction between proton-proton and neutron-neutron and proton-neutron. That means these forces are attractive between two protons, two neutrons, a proton and a neutron. Okay. So these forces are attractive forces. Okay. Even though there is a Coulomb force of repulsion between two protons, that is these nuclear forces overcome that Coulombian force of repulsion and hold the two protons together inside the nucleus. That's why these are attractive forces, and these attractive forces between two protons, between two neutrons, between proton and neutron. Okay, and next fourth one is charge independent. That means the strength of these magnitudes, these nuclear forces, independent on the charge of the nucleons. That means it is same between two protons, it is same between two neutrons, it is same between proton and neutron. That means it is independent on the charge of the nucleons. So that means the magnitude of these nuclear forces is charge independent. That means it is same for two protons or it is same for two neutrons, it is same for proton and neutron. That means even though it is charge independent, because two protons are charged particles, here proton is charged when neutron is neutral. But even though the magnitude of this force and this force, that means the force between two protons, force between proton and neutron, all these are same. That means the magnitude of these nuclear forces is independent on the charge of the nucleons. And fourth one, next fifth one, it is spin dependent. That means inside the nucleons, these nucleons has a spin. Suppose if their spin is in one direction, if both the particles having spin in same direction, the force is strong compared to other one. If they are anti-parallel, that force is somewhat weak. That means if two nucleons having same spin, that means same direction, these two spins are same, then the magnitude of this nuclear force is somewhat higher than those forces whose spins are anti-parallel compared to them. Okay. So if two nucleons having spin in same direction, the magnitude of force is higher compared to the magnitude whose spins are anti-parallel. So these nuclear forces are spin dependent. And sixth one is they are non-central forces. Non-central force. Central force means if a force acts along the line joining the two particles, then we say it is a central force. That means if we take the example Q1 and Q2 charges, the force according to Coulomb's law, the force of attraction repulsion between these two charges is equal to magnitude of Q1 Q2 by R square. But the direction of this force is given. This force acts along the line joining these two particles. Suppose if these two are repulsive forces, same charge, then this force will be like this on this particle, and this force direction will be in this direction on this Q1 particle. Okay. That means the force between those two particles acts along the line joining these two particles. Okay. As the example, the force on Q2 is in this direction, that means line joining this direction repulsive, and the force on Q1 is line joining these two particles along this direction. So if any force acts like this, it is a central force. We can say it is a central force. But the nuclear forces are non-central forces. That means the force acting between two nucleons does not act along the line joining these two nucleons. Okay? That is non-central forces. That means if a force acts between the line joining the two particles is called a central force. If the force between two particles does not act along the line joining these two particles, then it is a non-central force. And next one, seventh one, it is saturated force. Saturated force means, that means the nucleons attract only those nucleons which are the nearest neighbors. That means suppose if we consider a nucleon here, suppose a proton in the nucleus, this is the nucleus, this is a proton here. It does not act on all these nucleons inside these nucleons. if we consider a proton inside the nucleus, this particular proton does not attract all the nucleons inside the nucleus. Only it attracts only nearest neighbors only. That means it attracts only a limited number of particles which are very close to the particle, which are its nearest neighbors. So this particular force is called saturated force. That means the force that acts on a particle or attracts only those particles which are its nearest neighbors is called saturated forces. That means it does not act on all the nucleons inside the nucleus. Okay. Suppose if we consider a proton here, it does not attract all the nucleons inside this nucleus. It only attracts nearest neighbors, and such forces are called saturated forces. And third one is, and last one, they are exchange forces. That means according to Yukawa, this nuclear forces are exchange forces. That means they will exchange pi mesons, actually his theory, pi mesons between the nucleons. That means they will exist for a lifetime, and another it will create the nucleon. That means the force of the nuclear forces between two nucleons is due to the exchange of a particles called mesons according to Yukawa. Okay, this is not our subject concern. Okay, leave it. You just remember that they are exchange forces. They will exchange a pi meson between two nucleons. Okay, so these are the nuclear forces, properties of nuclear forces. Okay, first one is they are the strongest forces, and they are short range forces. Their range is 10 to the power minus 15 meter, or less than this they will be strong. If the distance exceeds this particular value, the strength of the nuclear forces decreases, and they are attractive forces. That means that means it is attractive force between two protons, attractive force between two neutrons, attractive force between proton and neutron. That means whatever be the particle, these nuclear forces are only attractive forces. And third one is charge independent. That nuclear forces, that means the strength of the magnitude, strength of the nuclear forces is independent on the charge of these two nucleons. That means it is same for two protons, it is same for two neutrons, it is same for proton and neutron. Here the magnitude of this nuclear force does not depend upon the charge of the particles or charge of the nucleons, and they are spin dependent. That means that the nucleons has a spin inside the nucleus. That means they will rotate about their own axis. If the rotational axes are parallel, if the spins are parallel, the forces has higher magnitude compared to the spins having anti-parallel. And fourth one, this one is they are non-central forces. Non-central forces means nuclear forces, that nuclear force between two nucleons does not act along the line joining these two particles, and such force is called non-central force. And eighth one is saturated force. Saturated force means a particular nucleon attracts only a limited number of nucleons, only its nearest neighbors only. It does not attract all the nucleons inside the nucleus, and such forces is called saturated forces. And these forces are exchange forces. That means the force between these two nucleons is due to exchange of particles, and that is called exchange forces. Okay. So one by one, these are what are the properties of nuclear. Nuclear forces are the strong attractive forces that will hold the nucleons together inside the nucleus. So nuclear forces are the forces that hold the nucleons inside the nucleus, and they are strongest forces in the basic forces. Okay, they are strongest forces. Their magnitude is up to 10 to the power 38 when compared to other electromagnetic forces and gravitational forces. And they has a short range. That means they are, even though they are strongest forces, their range will be very short. That means these forces are more effective when the distance is about 10 to the power minus 15 centimeter, minus 15 meter or less than that. If the distance exceeds this particular value, the strength of the nuclear force decreases. And they are attractive forces. That means all the nuclear forces between any two nucleons is attractive only. And fourth one is charge independent. That means the magnitude of these nuclear forces is independent on the charge of the nucleons. They are spin dependent. That means if the spin is same, they have larger magnitude. If spin is anti-parallel, they are lesser magnitude. So they depends upon the spin of the nucleons. They are non-central forces. That means they does not act along the line joining the two nucleons. And they are saturated forces. That means a particular nuclei inside a nucleus can attract only those nucleons which are its nearest neighbors only. It does not attract all the nucleons inside the nucleus. And they are exchange force. That means these nuclear forces exchange particles due to the exchange of particles between two nucleons. Okay? These are the properties of nuclear forces. Now, radioactivity. So, what is radioactivity? Actually, this radioactivity was first discovered in 1896 by Henry Becquerel. By name, first discovered by the scientist Henry Becquerel. He observed that uranium is giving out some radiations that affected the photographic plate even wrapped in a black paper. He observed that, first he discovered that uranium is giving out radiations that affected the photographic plate which is wrapped in a black paper. So, this radiation, he observed that this radiation has intense ionization and high penetrating powers and producing scintillations on fluorescent screens. So, he observed that these radiations has high penetrating power and high ionizing power and producing scintillations on fluorescent screens. So, later after 2 years, wife and husband pair Pierre Curie and Marie Curie these two scientists has extracted a material from pitchblende, a ore of uranium, while extracting uranium pitchblende and ore of uranium, they discovered another material called radium, which is more active than this uranium. Okay. So, they have found that while extracting pitchblende uranium, they extracted another material called radium, which is many more times active than this uranium. Okay. Now, we can say what is radioactivity means? The materials which has a property of giving out radiations is called radioactive. So, a nuclei are the materials or elements which has a property of giving radiations is called radioactive, and the phenomena of spontaneous emission, the phenomenon of spontaneous emission of radiation from these radioactive materials is called radioactivity. Okay. So, the phenomena of spontaneous emission of radiation from these radioactive elements are called radioactivity. Usually these radioactive elements are naturally occurring elements whose atomic number is about greater than 82, has a property of this radioactivity. Okay, naturally occurring elements whose atomic number is greater than or equal to 82 has the property of this radioactivity. Okay, so radioactivity means the phenomena of spontaneous emission of radiation from materials having naturally occurring elements from having an atomic number greater than 82 is called radioactivity. Usually the radioactive elements are uranium, thorium, radon, radium. So these are the radioactive elements. Okay. So Rutherford and his co-workers first discovered that these radiation consists of alpha particles and beta particles. First, Rutherford and his co-workers observed that these emitted radiations has alpha particle and beta particles, which has a property of ionizing the gases and penetration. And later it was discovered by Willard, another scientist, that another radiation which is more penetrating radiation called gamma radiation. Okay. He later discovered that there is another radiation which has more penetrating power or more penetrating property by name gamma radiation. So now we consider the radioactive element. That means when a radioactive element emits radiations, it consists of either alpha particle, beta particle or gamma radiation. Here these two are particles, this is energy. Okay. And it is observed that these particles, when in a lead drill hole, a radium material is kept like this, now these radiations are allowed to pass through electric field. Some radiations has a tendency to deflect towards the positive plate of the capacitor, and some radiations deflected towards the negative radiation, and some radiations are undeflected. And these deflection which are deflected towards the positive plate are alpha particles, are beta particles, and these are alpha particles, and which are not deflected in electric field are gamma particles. Similarly, if an electric field is applied, magnetic field is applied, even in this case also these beta particles okay, that means alpha and beta particles are deflected in electric and magnetic fields, whereas gamma radiation is not deflected through the electric and magnetic fields. These are the first observed facts. Okay. So radioactivity means the spontaneous emission of radiation from naturally occurring elements having atomic number greater than 82, and that property is called radioactivity. And this, while these radioactive elements emits radiation, it consists of three types of radiations: alpha radiation, beta radiation and gamma radiation. Out of these, alpha and beta are particles and gamma is radiation. And it is observed that these alpha and beta particles are deflected in electric and magnetic fields. This shows that these two particles are charged particles and gamma radiation is electrically neutral. Okay? Harsha. Okay?